And we are live.
Welcome back to Checkpoint, brought to you by Strictly Casual, your number one show rounding up all the hottest gaming news stories of the week and discussing all the relevant topics you need to know about. I'm one of your hosts, Jamie Walm, also known as James Walmer, joined together today and every week with the spiciest meatball in gaming, Vincent DeSantis.
Thanks, James. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. So glad.
Things are moving.
Things are moving?
Things are moving.
In what context are things moving? Usually when I say things are moving, it's usually like a bowel thing. You know, like things are moving. Like, it just is.
I mean, that's great news in your context because as someone who suffers from IBS, things aren't moving a lot of the time. So when things are moving, it's a great day.
It's a great day. It always is. Always is.
For me, I'm talking about in terms of housing. I was on Facebook groups going through NYU, NYC roommate groups and reached out to a dude and said, yo, is this just looking for, I clarified a pricing because it said 3,000 a month.
Yeah.
And I was like, is he looking for 3,000 per person or 3,000 for the whole place?
Right.
And he said for the whole place. And I said, oh, that makes it a lot better.
Yeah.
And so I reached out to him and said, hey, you want my want their number? And I said, yeah, sure. So
sweet.
I gave him a text and he replied almost instantly. I was like, yo, let's talk tomorrow. So,
dope. That's today. Nice. Hell yeah. I hope that goes well.
That's great.
Let's go.
Guys, thank you, audio listeners. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/strictlycasual. Please hit us with a rating on audio platforms and subscribe to us just to interact with us on socials in any way, shape, or form because it helps us out a lot. It helps out that little algorithm. What else we got going on the channel, Vin?
Thanks for 2K, everybody. We hit it.
Thanks for 2K.
We did it, baby. So we're stoked. We did that, and then we actually posted a lot more shorts on YouTube, which is great. They've been doing really well. We got a couple new subscribers from those two, which has been awesome. TikToks are back at the daily. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Vincent. Well, first of all, before we get into how you doing, what are you playing? Today we're talking about little reviews like Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. We're talking about Tuesday's Nintendo Direct. We're talking about Spellbreak and an interview with Hidetaka Miyazaki, among other things.
Yeah.
Vincent, here it is. How you doing? What have you been playing?
I am doing okay. Another stressful week in the life of Vin. Just work-wise and attempting new job that is not getting back to me. And trying to move in August. Like all sorts of things. So, I don't know. It's just like piling up. The time for decision making is now. That's what it is.
Yes.
It's a lot of like planning for this, and as much as I can plan for this, it's time. Like it's go time. So trying to figure that out. But I played Fall Guys this week, the free to play. Went free to play. Pretty damn fun. Had a great time with that.
Great, it's so much fun.
The PS5 version now has the Rumble and all that kind of stuff. It's fun. There's so many new courses now.
So many courses, dude.
Oh my God.
I still am finding new courses.
Yeah. So I had a lot of fun playing that this week. And then what did I jump into? Oh yeah. I played some Valorant. Jumped back into that new season. Pretty fun. Computer's chugging on it for some reason, so I quit pretty early on. I don't know why it wasn't running very well. It just went terrible. I think it's because I was streaming it. And then I played a lot of Battlefield 2042 this week. A lot of it. Just had a great time playing it.
Is it still busted?
No. Like playing it day one versus playing it now, like you're not glitching through the map. You can actually run without like doing a weird like bobble every like 10 steps that your character's head did. The guns feel good. There's a lot more of a balance now. The new map is like actually a really well designed map.
How's the player base?
I don't have any problems getting into games except for Hazard Zone. It's impossible to play Hazard Zone.
Is Hazard Zone a good game mode?
Total flop. It was like their answer to what it's like a cross between Escape from Tarkov and a battle royale, where you like drop in, you try to survive, and then you extract weapons for like the next drop. But there's no player base for that at all, and I have crossplay on, so against PC and console, no player base for Hazard Zone, but a lot for Conquest and Breakthrough on all maps and the new map.
Great.
And the new season of content is actually It's not a substantial amount of content, but it is a lot more content. It's like the new map, there's new guns and stuff. All the guns on the season pass, by the way, are free. You don't have to pay for any of that. The only thing that
Well,
is paid on the battle pass is for cosmetic items. So that's pretty cool. Like I hit 17 and I got a new gun. That gun is like kind of the meta right now. Like I would say maybe 30 to 40% of people are like trying to play with that gun, which is a huge percentage. And so like I'm having a good time like leveling that up. It's getting better and better because the guns don't start off very good until you get equipment. But anyways, Battlefield 2042, having a great time. Again, I'm not arguing that this is a good game by any means. I think it's a solid 6. It's just really scratching my itch for shooters right now because I don't know, it's been a while since I've been into a shooter. But that's it.
I started off this week rough, Vin.
Hit me.
Started with Anthem.
Yep.
We talked the other, I think it was last week, about going into Anthem, getting that platinum trophy.
Yeah.
And then I said, all right, Vin, are we doing this? I bought it for $6.
Mhm.
And I said, all right, Vin, you doing this? And he said, hey, you need to finish the campaign because I already did that. And
Yeah.
I said, and in my head, I said, what the fuck?
I finished it when we were in college, bro, like freshman year when I bought it.
Yeah. And then I remembered that and I was like, ah, shit. So I went back and I tried to play it and it runs at a solid 30 frames per second.
So
with
bad.
dips. And the textures still look pretty good,
Mhm.
but it's like, it just doesn't like, I'm so accustomed to 60 frames per second and everything now. And that game is so fast that it really, like when you notice that it's not 60 frames per second really easily.
Yeah. And I am looking at here at the EA community page here where every single thing is, hello, would you kindly finally upgrade the game for PS5? It's more than capable of running Anthem at 60 FPS, maybe even 4K 60. And then EA responded with, hey, thanks for sharing your feedback. Last year it was shared that we're not supporting this game anymore. So it will not be getting 60 FPS.
Yeah, they old yellered that game hard.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm even gonna finish it because of that.
Sure. Okay.
I jumped in and I said, you know what? Like the combat is pretty fun. I was just the standard ranger and I was shooting some people. I'm like, all right, this feels good.
Mm-hmm.
It's very Destiny.
Oh yeah. Of course I chose the magic one or the Stormcaller or whatever the crap they call it.
Of course, yeah.
Lightning, explosion, lightning. I love it, dude. I love that crap. It feels good.
It was good. So I went from that, and then my buddies and I played about about 4 hours of The Quarry.
Oh, do they
Altogether.
screen
So
share it for you or what?
No, what we did was we were all at my buddy Eli's house.
Mm-hmm.
And so he brought his PS4. He had the core. He just played it. My buddy Max did.
Yeah.
And so what we did is every time the character switched, we'd switch controllers.
Nice. Cool.
So like we just hand off the controller to like someone else, and they got to make all the decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And so there were times I was like, fuck, I would not make that
Yeah.
decision. Like I couldn't. It was hard for me to watch because some people were just being so abrasive with these characters and
Yeah.
wanting to like push back on everything everyone was saying. And I was just like, this would not be me whatsoever.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. I really like the core. It's really campy. Some of the voice lines are like, in comparison to Until Dawn, I think Until Dawn is less corny.
Mm-hmm.
But the Quarry, I think I like the subject matter a little more.
Okay. I'm very excited to play the Quarry.
It's great. It's so good. I like the way it improves upon the systems.
Mm-hmm.
In comparison to Until Dawn, because there's two things. One, it took away the hold still mechanic where you have your PlayStation controller and it has a little light bar on screen and it's like you can't move.
That's a thing.
Like it uses the gyroscope. Yeah, it uses the gyroscope and like you literally can't move or else the killer will find you.
Oh, dog, I would just put that on the desk, like, dude, boom.
It just comes up so fast that you're like, oh my god, I'm stuck here.
Okay.
Like there's no warning for it, so you're like, ah.
Cool.
And instead of button presses for quick time events, it's moving the right stick in a certain direction.
Okay, that's cool.
So it's going up, right, or left. In addition, there's also the shooting is way worse in the Quarry. And so Until Dawn, you had like little targets that would go like across the environment and you just move the reticle to the target. But now there's none of that. It's just you have, like, so in the section that I played of the Quarry, you have a shotgun with a flashlight on it.
Yeah.
And there's no reticle. You just kind of have to point
raw
like the
dog
middle of the flashlight.
Nice.
at the enemy and hope that it hits. And it's so nerve-wracking, and the aiming in Until Dawn is so fast. You can literally just go across screen so easily, but in the Quarry, it's not like that. It's like it's really like,
Floaty.
I don't know,
Okay.
floaty
Yeah.
and cumbersome.
That's kind of
So
cool.
I think that's intentional
Yeah.
just to make it feel a little scarier. There's also I know I'm going on forever about this game, but I really like the system where you can there's moments at like pivotal times where you can make a knee-jerk reaction,
Okay.
where it's almost like in a Telltale game where it'll have like an option, press X to do this,
Yeah.
and then it'll have like a meter. It'll have like a meter, like it looks
Right.
different than any other dialogue option or anything like that. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like, I don't know, or like, oh, do you want to like do this real quick? Like, here's your chance if you
Yeah.
want to do this,
Right.
and you can choose whether to do it or not. So some of that is to like call out or to like hit someone or to shoot someone,
Okay.
things like that. So because I played the Quarry and I don't have the Quarry, I said, all right, I'm gonna play Until Dawn because
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I never finished Until Dawn. Didn't even really get halfway through it. So
Okay.
got into Until Dawn, played a lot of it over the course of the last 2 days. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of my main game that I was playing. I'm at 4 hours Until Dawn. I forgot the name of the chapter, but it's getting really crazy,
Cool.
taking some really cool turns, and there's some really interesting fourth wall breaking stuff going on that I really like with the psychiatrist. And did you finish Until Dawn,
Never played it. Actually, like never played it ever.
Vincent?
I
It's
know. I
literally
know.
right there on your PlayStation.
I
You're a
know.
PlayStation Plus subscriber.
Yeah.
So that being said, I haven't touched Death Stranding at all this week.
Mm-hmm.
Just hasn't been the type of experience I've wanted. And I played a lot of Apex. I won like 3 games,
Nice. That's what I'm
two,
talking
three
about.
games
Love it.
of Apex. Got absolutely carried for one.
Are you throwing your hat into Elden Ring right now? Are you playing it? You jumping in there?
Elden Ring is also infuriating for me right now because I was working on Radagon really hard, and then a friend of
Mm-hmm.
mine told me to go fight Melania,
And then
and
Rubicon.
the snowfields to get to Melania where I hit some really infuriating points just in the snowfield alone.
Sure.
And so I threw in the towel real quick. I was
Yeah.
just kind of like, ah, like
I'm so
I
determined,
don't want to do
James.
this right now.
I'm just taking long breaks in between because then I have like a couple sessions that I'm getting like really
You played
far.
it all this week?
Uh-uh. No.
Okay.
But I am
Hey,
uh what did I do last? Oh no. You know what? I was going for some of the I went for some bosses that I kind of not missed but didn't go for right away, like
mhm,
Godskin. I finally figured out how to get around to that stupid Karya Manor, bro. Like I kept on going the wrong
yeah.
direction. There's like a split path and there's one that goes underground and you get like 5 points of grace. There's a whole underground area that I completely missed. Like a whole area I totally missed. So I was able to fight Godskin. I fought a boss in another kind of dungeon. I don't really know. It's in Alice Plateau. It's like a more green thing. There's like disgusting poison on the ground. There's the people that hug you, like to try to kill you, and then there's the witches that spray that thing, and then it has fire. I hate them so much. But there's a boss at the end of that, and then he gives you like this bigger sword that has elemental damage, I guess, like lightning
Mm.
damage or something. Um, Shard Bear or something, but you know. Anyways, it was a cool boss. So I got both of those, and both of those had trophies attached to them. So I'm like really not that far from like the platinum trophy. The hardest part is getting all the legendary talisman, and which you just have to find a guide for that, and then the 3 endings. But like the more you play, you do all the bosses going through it. You could do it. So it's pretty good. I don't know. I might try to go for it. That would be platinum number 30 for me. So that'd be a
Wow.
cool number to hit on Elden Ring. I don't know.
And then once October rolls around, we could replay Bloodborne
We could absolutely play Bloodborne. I
with the
had a
DLC.
friend
You gotta buy the
streaming it.
DLC.
Yeah. I had a friend streaming Bloodborne and they were at this like crazy ass boss in this room. I was like, "Ugh, I want to play it. I do want to play it. God, I gotta beat the cleric beast. I gotta restart the game. I'm
You
starting
could
over.
easily beat the cleric beast now.
Okay, probably. You're right. You're right.
You're just there. Like you already are familiar with it.
Yeah.
So one thing that both of us played this week, one game, is MX versus ATV Legends.
That's right. Now, James, these codes were provided by THQ Nordic, and yeah.
Sorry, we have to redo this. I didn't record.
Okay, all good.
Okay. Another thing that we played this week was MX versus ATV Legends. Vincent, tell us a little bit about this game and how we played it.
Yeah, so these codes were provided by THQ Nordic and Rainbow Studios. The game released yesterday as of recording on June 29th, I believe. June 28th it came out. And so we're free to talk about it now. James, we got these codes pretty recently, so we are not super far into the game, but we were able to play alone and together. Got to squad up in some online mode and stuff. And so we have some thoughts going into MX versus ATV Legends. To give a brief little history, I grew up on MX versus ATV for the PS2. Like, I'm talking, I would play this couch co-op split screen all the time with my brother, my neighbor. Like, we would play this all the time. Now, one thing they did bring back from those original games, from the original, like, I mean, they were before PS2 also, but is split screen, like couch co-op. So you can do that in this game too, which I really appreciate. I know it probably won't get taken advantage of a lot because couch co-op is not as popular, it seems, I guess now. I'm sure it is for the younger generation, but like for us, it's just doesn't happen as much. So, but I'm happy they brought that back, even if that's a feature that doesn't get used. But
Yeah, so
yeah, tell me a little bit.
I was gonna say, in terms of my history, I grew up with a lot of this era of racing games, a lot of those dirt rally games for the PlayStation 1. They weren't dirt rally, but they were like other
Yeah,
sorts of racer
motorsports.
games like that. Motorsports games. I did play MX versus ATV. I forgot what the original title was for the PlayStation 1. And I absolutely played the shit out of it as a
Yeah.
kid. I remember playing and my parents getting mad at me because the sound of the motorcycles was so loud and just
Right.
so consistent that like I would to be like like turn the volume
Yeah.
down,
Uh-huh.
turn the volume down, and my little like 8-year-old self was so crushed because all I wanted to hear was motorcycles.
Exactly.
Vincent, tell me a little bit more about your experience with the game.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. Jumping into this, you're presented with bikes, ATVs, and UTVs, which is cool. So the bikes, the two-wheeled, you got the quads, and then the kind of caged four-wheel car rally car
Bigger
things.
four-wheelers,
Yeah. And I was expecting this game to be extremely arcadey, just like the original ones were. I know I'm saying original ones, but the ones I have experience with at the very least. But it's not. It's a little more in depth with having a two-stick steering method and a two-stick, like one stick is to steer, the other stick is to lean. And so you're like can lean into turns or turn on turns, but you kind of like you really have to get that down. And I feel like I'm not even close to mastering that, like at all. Which if you can master it, I'm sure that would be fun, but it's actually a little frustrating at first because I don't feel like I have any control over my bike when I do.
Vincent, I have to stop you.
What?
I fucked up.
What did you do?
I didn't get any of the audio.
Okay,
On your
I'm
end.
gonna clip this out later. Then let's just keep going. We don't
Yeah,
have
let's
time to
just
do it
keep
again.
going. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. I'll edit it and upload it. Okay. So then we're gonna keep going. Then talk a little bit about customization.
Okay, so customization, what happens is I like that it's all of it's in the menu. So you just open up your menu and go straight to your garage or to your locker and you have all of your customization options. You have all of the ATVs, all the UTVs, all the bikes that are available to you. They're not all available right from the jump. You can see all of them right from the jump. You have all of the unlockable suits and helmets and all those things you can access straight from the menu and customize and switch out whenever you'd like, which I really enjoy because I hate having to go somewhere to modify my gear, my equipment, whatever.
Yeah.
And you can even tune different parts for your different vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
So whether that's a bike or a UTV or an ATV, all of which you can totally tune on the fly in the world when you're going around racing, doing all these things in between
Yeah.
your scheduled races and stuff like that. All that's contained. That being said, I would like a lot more options in
Right.
terms of visual customization.
There's zero visual customization.
There's some, right, with in regards
Presets.
to gear. There's presets, a lot
Yeah.
of different uniforms and helmets and things like that. However, a lot of them are red. A lot of them
Yeah.
are the same colors. You either have the choice between dark gray, black, or red. with the occasional like beige um, color, but regardless, there's no color sliders, no
Yeah.
options to change those colors of any of those things. You can change the name on your jersey,
Yes.
which is fun.
Very
But
fun.
aside from that, there's little personalization that you can put into your outfit or onto your bike in terms of any sort of like graphics or decals or anything like that on
Everybody
the
looks
bikes.
very similar on the lineups.
It's true.
Yeah, very similar. I will say that the career mode in this is pretty damn expansive.
It is pretty extensive, yeah.
You really have. I was looking at. I said like 300 and something levels just in the motorcycles or the MXs. You know what I mean? And then there's like that same amount in the quads and same amount on the UTVs. So like that's almost 1,000 levels worth of stuff that you could try to jump in and master. Now I played a lot of those on the regular normal difficulty. I got my butt destroyed. I am so bad. Like these guys were good.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So I really think that comes
Yeah.
down to mastering the two stick
Right.
driving thing, which I don't have down.
And that's what I wanted to bring up is you talk about thinking this game is going to be arcadey.
Yeah.
But I think this game actually caters to the more hardcore
Yeah.
racing game audience because these systems are really in depth. I was going through some of the tutorials in the beginning of the game, and it took me a while to get some of these concepts down. Things
Right.
like leaning forward and back on both the right stick and the left stick to either maximize jump distance or jump height, or whether you want to go, whether you want to go far, but you aren't worried about going, tall
Right.
with your jumps. So
Yeah.
these things really like take a long time to get down.
Yeah.
In order to really make the most out of this experience. And I could only imagine what this game could feel like when you do really take control
Yeah.
of the game systems.
Right. Which is kind of what I want to drive to. Like I want to get there. I want to get there so I can feel competitive. Right now I don't feel very competitive even in the career mode. But because I think that's the AI know what to do. Whereas when we played multiplayer, I felt like it was pretty even because everybody was like, you jump into a match and it felt like, okay, I could probably beat these guys or they could probably beat me. It's just like, we're just doing it. We're going.
With the exception of that one guy who was
that didn't make any sense.
So far ahead of us for some reason.
Yeah.
I was like, why is this dude
right off the line, bro? Right off the line, he just took off. Now, I did play one multiplayer match really late last night. I wanted to play some more, and it was, I only had this experience one time, but it was unplayable, James. There were these walls of, it was like a rubber bandy, these walls of like, I don't know, textures going through the air on the whole map. And so me and the other guy just started doing donuts because we were like, I don't know what to do here. Like, I don't really. It's just nothing could happen. I did take a video to send to you, but I haven't run into that a lot, but I didn't like that was like one of 10 multiplayer matches I played yesterday. That was like, you couldn't do anything. Also, there was one other player. I don't know if the online player base is big. We talked about this too. There's a trophy for completing 25 online matches. If you want to get those trophies we played this on PlayStation 5, by the way. You're going to want to jump into those multiplayer matches sooner rather than later, I think.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Because even in our time, we were getting repeats of the same
people.
Yeah. Kind of every game.
And it's not cross-platform, so maybe we're just playing with PS5 players. And at the time, it is one day after release, and we were playing on like a Thursday afternoon. So kind of a weird time, but I don't know. Maybe I'll try this weekend, see how the lobbies are. This is another thing that they wanted to kind of highlight. The game is highlighting over the next couple of days is that there's a bunch of new DLC vehicles coming out today from leading manufacturers such as Hyundai, Kawasaki, Suzuki, like all these different ones, Yamaha. And then on July 5th, there's a huge national tracks like DLC thing where it's just like the real world tracks in the game. And that's a big point that the game is trying to get towards is like, oh, you have a career, like you gain fans by doing these levels, and then you get invited to these big events to like compete with other professionals. So I like that concept. That's cool. But something about it is not grabbing me, I guess. Like I don't feel the desire to go back all the time, but I am having fun. I do have a good time.
Yeah. I think one of the things for me that I would love to see is expanding these open world parts to give you more meaningful things to do in these sort of like sandbox playground areas. Because right now they're just two collectibles. There's two types of collectibles. There's like
Scenics. There's scenic
yeah,
areas.
scenic areas, and I don't know, they're just called collectibles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of them is like a big red floating
Helmet.
icon,
Yeah.
and the other is a big yellow floating icon.
Right.
And all you got to do is you got to drive through them, like whether that's off of a jump into them or get to the point that they're at and you collect them. That's all you really have to do in the open world. But I would love to see things like little speed zones, or that you have to like get to a certain speed in this zone from point A to point B to like get, a certain award and get money for it,
Yeah.
or, things like that in the open world that kind of give you more pull to actually participate and do these things. Whereas right now you have kind of the options of either, okay, you do your career or you do online, and you can go in the open world, but there's not really a point to
Yeah.
it right now. And I would
Yeah.
love to see something like that.
Yeah. I would love to see that in the future as well. But I am having a good time with this. I probably will try out some more stuff, especially when, I mean, I'm looking forward to the updates, like the post-launch updates when they get feedback from like how the game is playing and stuff, and see how they kind of tune it
Hmm.
up. And this game does retail at $49, so it's like a $50 game. It's not a $70 game. But yeah, I mean, if you like these kind of like dirt rally games, I would say the graphics are pretty good. It's not like amazing, not like the greatest thing ever, but it does look nice in my opinion.
I would say if I were to rate the graphics on a scale 1 to 10, they'd be like in the 6 to 7 range.
Hmm.
But I
Yeah,
don't know how well optimized this game is for the PlayStation 5
very true.
yet, and see if maybe it's a PlayStation 4 title that we're playing on our PlayStation 5. So I don't know how hardware plays a factor into that. One more thing I want to touch on is sometimes the settings are a little bit wonky depending on presets.
Yeah.
Um, for example, going into tutorials, one of the things was there's an option to turn off where if you're in the air and you go when you turn on the throttle or push down on the throttle, that your bike will turn forward.
Yeah.
And there's an option to turn that off in the settings and to have it just controlled with the stick.
Oh, that's what I
And
want.
I didn't know that. So the preset was that it was off, right? So that it wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And then I went into the tutorial, and one of the things in this jump tutorial was talking about that. And so I would do it and nothing would really happen.
Okay.
And the tutorial, it still allowed me to complete the tutorial just because I got to the end of it.
Yeah.
But I would like the tutorials to be a little bit like a little harsher, I guess, on the
Mm,
player, to like make sure these systems are in place and have a little bit more step-by-step guides on like, okay, like you might need to check this setting is off if you like,
sure.
in order to understand this mechanic,
Yeah.
or just so that players don't really like fumble through these tutorials and they say, oh, I guess that's what's going on,
Hmm.
and not really left with a sense of clarity.
Because if you don't have a sense of clarity, then you can't actually go and compete. That's the thing, kind of.
Right.
That's where I'm like, that's where we feel behind, is because maybe the tutorials weren't helpful enough in the very basics. Like, yeah, cool. I learned how to
Hmm.
clutch and like, I don't know, throttle for a good start, and I learned how to kind of move in the air. But like moving around corners, I don't feel like I know what to do there. Like it tells you not to brake, but you kind of have to, or else you go off track and you got to reset. I also like how the
Hmm.
resets are pretty quick in this game. You don't have to like really hold it down. You can just click a circle and you're back on the track. Like a
Really, I
quick
felt the
tap.
opposite. I
Okay.
felt like I had to hold it
You could just
for
tap it.
like a whole.
Yeah,
Really?
you just tap it and you reset right back and you can go.
Oh,
It's
okay.
nice. Guys, thank you so much for listening to our MX vs ATV talk. This is kind of like a review in progress, I would say.
Review in progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, or initial impressions.
Initial impressions of the game. Yeah, thanks so much for checking this out.
Mhm.
And stick right here with Strict and Casual for our movie and game news. Appreciate you guys. Okay, moving on to the rest of the news. James, do you have audio set for this? Just to let you while I go over the Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak early
Thank you.
review
I'll
scores.
be doing it while you talk about it.
Sweet. The DLC for Monster Hunter Rise is out? Question mark? Or I think it's coming out. No, it is out.
Uh, with some great limited editions coming
Oh, really?
from GameStop. You got Amiibo, you got a Steelbook,
Mm.
and you got a bunch of other cool
I'm
shit
so
too.
upset, dude. I wish their steelbooks they sold them in full size and not switch case size. Cause like I have the Mario Kart steelbook and stuff, but it's like mini steelbooks. It's interesting. I want it to like go in my
I like it.
collection.
I think it's kind of a novelty.
Yeah, but these don't match. And I only have like a couple versus like a lot of the other size, but whatever. Anyways, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, very, very good reviews. This is a review roundup from Nibelian. Video Game 24/7 says 5 out of 5. The Mako Reactor gives it a 10. That's 2 10s right off the bat. GameSpeak gives it a 4.5 out of 5. And this is from Jason McMaster saying, after spending 60 hours with the new expansion, I can say that it's one of my favorite game expansions in recent history. If you're a fan of Monster Hunter Rise, then you should consider playing the new content. I've enjoyed my time with Sunbreak and can't wait to continue my adventures with friends, taking on new challenges and reaping the rewards. Dextero 9.5, RPG Site 9, Game Informer 7.5, and IGN 7. OpenCritic is at an 87 as of today.
Whoa.
And Metacritic's at a 90, but there's only 3 reviews in so far, so that's a very...
Still?
That review can change. Yeah, still. I checked this morning. Oh, I put 610, but it's 630. So yeah, great reviews. Now, I am seeing, if you didn't like Monster Hunter Rise, this is more of it. If you loved Monster Hunter Rise, then this is perfect. This is like the best possible expansion you can get. So...
I want to play this so bad.
Yeah, it's on PC now. I mean, I'd like to play this on my PS5.
Yeah.
I don't really want to play this on maybe Switch.
It's just so here, in terms of the cycle, it goes like smaller mobile game, and then I think they're looking to release another like Monster Hunter World 2 around like 2024,
Okay.
probably. It's just this is so they do like do a big game and then a big DLC, and then they move on to another platform. So this is kind of like Monster Hunter has always kind of been the mainstay mobile game franchise where like Monster Hunter Generations and Monster Hunter, I think it was like what Ultimate or Evo, something like that, were coming out on PSP all the time.
Okay.
So I think they even started off as like a mobile game franchise. But
gotcha. So maybe it will just be best on Switch. I should just go for it. The problem is
you should just go.
I just
want
don't
to play it really bad.
Play too much on my Switch, as much as I
Me
like.
too.
Like I don't have enough reasons to pick it up right now.
You have me.
Yeah, that's true, James. I do have you. You're right. You are correct.
I want to play Monster Hunter Rise so bad, but my 2 friends who I always play games with don't like Monster Hunter.
Okay. Weird.
But I love Monster Hunter.
Yeah. It's always on sale.
It's just grindy enough to where like you feel like everything is kind of attainable.
Mm-hmm.
And you can, but I like the way you grind it because you do all this BS.
Yeah.
To like get something meaningless. It's like, okay, like I'm gonna go hunt this monster, and like I know if I hunt this monster like 4 times, I'll probably get what I want.
This is where the Steam Deck would be interesting for me to get it so that you can get it on PC and you can just play it on your Steam Deck and play it on your PC for like different settings, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. I should just get on Switch because you can dock the Switch. That's the big thing. I got to remember I can dock the Switch.
You have a Pro Controller? Yeah, you do. You got the Power A controller.
I got the Power A, baby. I got the Power A. What else can you say? So, yeah, great reviews. If you're into Monster Hunter Rise, you should definitely check out this DLC. It's not a skippable one from what I've seen.
No.
Not a skippable one at all.
Nope.
Moving on.
Everything interesting announced during Tuesday's Nintendo Direct Mini. This didn't really satisfy me in terms of overall. Like I still want more. I want that Zelda reveal.
Oh, this is just, but it's just a mini. Like they said, third-party Direct.
I know it's just a mini. I know it's just a mini. But the people want an actual Nintendo Direct.
Yeah. The people want it.
Because Nintendo was silent during E3 season, or also known as Summer Games Fest season.
Yeah, Key3.
Nintendo, we're still looking at you. Here's what we got. I'm going to start out with Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. This is 10 Mega Man Battle Network games from the Game Boy Advance are coming to Nintendo Switch in 2023. There's also 1,000 illustrations, and 150 songs included with the games. Vincent, I'm so hyped for this.
James, I think it is so funny that Nintendo is the only company ever that in their descriptions or way of selling games are like, this is how many songs come with the game, okay? No other company has ever done that, ever.
No, never.
Except Nintendo. I love it.
Vincent, these games are like cult classics.
Yeah. No, and 10 games is a lot too, so it's pretty cool.
That's a lot of games. And so what they're doing is they're releasing it in 2 parts. So like part 1 is releasing in 2023, I think.
Okay.
and then the next half is releasing
You see, you can play it in
a
like
year
original
after.
graphics or they're smoothed over. Like, oh, I hate the
Mm-hmm.
smoothed over stuff though. I like the original for that kind of
Really?
stuff.
I kind of
Yeah,
like the smooth over. I thought it looked good.
it looks it looks oddly soap opera. I don't know. Like,
Huh?
it does. It does. It has this like glow to it. I don't know. It's weird. Just look at it again with like soap
It
opera
kind
eyes.
it kind of looks like a game that they would play in a TV show that didn't actually exist.
That is a great way of describing it. That is exactly what I'm talking about. It's just it's not real. It does not exist.
Yeah. Like no one actually made this game. Like it was just made by some
Yeah.
producers who
Hmm.
were working with the green screen.
Right. Exactly. Next we got Pac-Man World Repack. It's a remastered version of Pac-Man World. The repack is launching August 26th. Repack is a good name for a Pac-Man remaster. I like that.
Yeah, it is. Next, we got Return to Monkey Island, which is, I'm sure, a big deal to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Return to Monkey Island is coming to first Nintendo Switch this year, adding on to the story from The Secret of Monkey Island and Monkey Island 2: LeChuck's Revenge.
So this is like a sequel. It's not a remake or anything. This is like a
Oh, wow.
this is a successor to the
This is
original
actually
too.
a huge deal.
Did you see Elijah Wood tweet about it too? He's like something like I've never been more excited for a game in my life. Like Frodo himself
Really.
was like, this is it. Yeah.
Elijah Wood is just a great gamer.
Totally, absolutely. We got Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. The sequel to the original Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle will be released on October 20th. See, this is a first party. I don't know why they're like, oh, this is a third party direct. First party game. Right there. It's getting its own showcase on Wednesday at noon Eastern time. So next week, I believe.
Yeah.
Wednesday at noon, which is 9
And this
a.m.
is in
our
that
time.
same sort of like XCOM turn-based strategy style.
Yeah, yeah. And then pre-orders open Tuesday at the Nintendo eShop. It looks pretty good, to be honest. From
I'd
what
like
I've
to know
seen.
who plays this game. I want to know who plays this game and whether or not it's the same like audience that plays XCOM.
It can't
Because
be the same
XCOM doesn't get
hardcore.
enough love.
I know it. Did you? What? Oh, also, this is a little bit of a sidebar. Did you watch any of the Midnight Suns like actual gameplay?
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be your game.
I do. I know it's gonna be my game.
I think it looks pretty
I
good.
know.
I think it looks pretty great.
I'm pretty damn confident I'm gonna fucking love this game.
Okay. Oh man, yeah, I'm excited for that. Okay, next one.
Next up, we got Sonic Frontiers. Nintendo gave Sonic fans a peek at Sonic Frontiers open zone gameplay and a taste of new cyberspace levels that look more traditional 3D Sonic the Hedgehog games, that look more like
Yeah,
traditional 3D Sonic the Hedgehog games, is expected on Nintendo Switch this holiday.
I
How'd
think
it look?
I think that the drip feeding they did for IGN first was a mistake because they showed
Mm,
things that they thought were going to get people excited. They should have shown this first because this looks way better. It's more
well,
vibrant, like I don't know, areas that have more
mm,
stuff in them.
yeah,
It's
more condensed, more full.
it looks way better from this. This trailer should be the only
Mm,
thing they have out for the game. Except
wow.
I don't know, then you would sell the game and then it's like, "Oh, there really are these open areas with absolutely nothing." So, I don't know.
Yeah.
This should have been the first showing though of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Portal Companion Collection is out on the Switch. It got a surprise launch Tuesday. The bundle includes Portal 1, Portal 2, and a co-op version of Portal 2 as
That's
well.
so cool.
Yeah, this would be a great game on the Switch. You know what I mean?
It'll be a great game on the Switch.
Maybe the perfect game on the Switch.
I love Portal.
Yeah. I still never
Great
beat
puzzle
Portal.
game. Really?
I almost beat Portal 2, but I got really frustrated the last couple levels, and I would not let myself look up a guide. I was like, I want to like do this on my own,
Mm-hmm.
and I really couldn't do it. And I was like, okay, I would just pause it. I'll come back. Never came back. Great game though.
Tragedy.
Tragedy.
It's a great game though. The co-op was so infuriating to me because I play with people who just want to fuck around the whole time.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And as someone who just likes to complete things, it made me real mad.
Yeah, I bet.
Persona, we got Persona 5 Royal launching on Nintendo Switch on October 21st, and Persona 4 Golden and Persona 3 Portable expected soon. This is also really, really huge
James,
because I feel like for games like this is the perfect platform to play it on. You can just pick it up and drop it whenever you need to, on the go, because a lot of the game is in that same rhythm of like, all right, you like get up, you go, you do something, and then there's like these little breaks all the time that you have opportunities to like stop.
I really would like PlayStation to have a new portable device. That is what I'm asking. I'm really asking for it. I
He
don't know
says
what
as
else to
he
say.
grips his microphone. You can't see this, audio listeners, but he is just gripping his microphone at the base and at the arm.
I just
He is begging, holding on for dear hope from Sony.
I mean, what am I gonna do, James? I don't want
It's
this
not
remote
happening.
play. I think Switch is great, but I don't know. I don't feel like I'm not in the Switch there's no ecosystem. It's just the Switch. I want something that plays nice with everything. And now with PlayStation going to PC and stuff, Xbox, I would love it. I mean, Steam Deck I think is good. Like, okay, cool. You have a PC, I guess, that's portable, but it's got an hour of battery life. Like, I don't know, there's too many drawbacks for the Steam Deck for me, and I don't play PC games as much because I don't have why I don't want to buy a game that doesn't run well on my PC because I have a shitty PC. You know what I mean? Then I'm just buying it for the handheld, where I'd rather like buy something on a PlayStation, be able to play it on a handheld and the PlayStation back and forth. That would be perfect in my world.
Right.
Not perfect for everybody's world, but perfect for my world. You know?
Yeah. Sounds like you want remote play.
Remote play's dog water, dude, and you can't remote play from your PS5 to your Vita, unless you can. Somebody prove me wrong. I know you could do it to your phone, but I don't know if you could do it to your Vita. I don't know. I gotta try that out.
Is it just bad connectivity?
Yeah, I mean, I have good internet, but for some reason I've never gotten remote play to like work good. The only time I've gotten a good streaming thing to work is Stadia, which is crazy. I mean, I played Stadia on my laptop, like just on a couch, like with a trackpad, and it was flawless with the same internet that I use on remote play. I don't understand how they did it. Yeah.
It's really crazy.
Okay, tell me about Halo Infinite before I rage.
Halo Infinite melee bugs aren't fixed because devs are just working on other things. This comes from Polygon. Halo Infinite, which launched in November, is still suffering from online desynchronization issues that frequently mean melee strikes don't register. This is a quote from Barry Hill, who is the Reddit thread, he's the writer of the Reddit thread in which he interacted with one of the devs from 343. So he said the TLDR of it is the devs that would work on these fixes have been allocated to other Halo Infinite work. He said it had a knock-on effect to other networking fixes, but not to melee and around the wall shots. So Barry Hill added the developers should be returning this team. So basically, like they tried to do workarounds for these sort of desync issues that 343 devs did. They tried to like do other sort of latency things, other, in terms of like knock-on effects and but these things like melee and around the wall shots are still issues that plague the game. The Reddit thread starter, thank Barry Hill. Sorry, Barry Hill was the guy who replied to the thread starter. Sorry, got a little caught up. But he acknowledged that they were pretty. This is the Redditor said they were pretty disheartened to hear that this isn't at the top of the team's priority of fixes because, and I've seen this a lot on Twitter, is this is like the reason why a lot of people are leaving the game. This is the reason why people are saying it's unplayable. The community's been extremely outspoken on this issue, and I think is one of the top reasons people are leaving the game due to the frustration caused from basically like you go to hit someone, right? You go to melee them, you lunge at them,
Yeah.
and the hit just doesn't connect.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Whack.
The lunge activates, you do the animation, but it just doesn't connect. It doesn't do the damage that it needs to. Halo Infinite's multiplayer, which is free to play, launched in beta on November 15th, 3 weeks before the full game launched on December 8th for Windows PC, Xbox One, Series X. In April, before the beginning of multiplayer season 2, 343 Industries said it had brought in additional help from Austin, Texas-based Certain Affinity to help meet community expectations for post-launch support. 343 Industries community manager Brian Gerard acknowledged that the community is simply out of patience and tired for words at the time.
James, here's my thought on this. This is Halo. Like, the next generation Halo game.
It is.
They should be supporting this, even if the player base is
they
not...
left it to die.
Yeah, even if there's not as big of a player base as you had on launch. Like, it's a mistake to leave this in the dust.
Huge mistake.
Yeah.
I don't know what other Infinite work they could be working on that's more important than maintaining your player base.
Yeah, because the multiplayer is the thing that's going to live, well, hopefully live longer.
Well, that's what they advertise it as.
Yeah, but
they have to fulfill the promise to the players of something that's going to be continue continually evolving and ever changing. And if they don't have the staff to support that and actually maintain player base, because you can't continue evolving if you don't have the players to keep playing.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It sucks, man. I want the best for Halo Infinite. And to me, this is like, Halo Infinite is something that could be turned around. There was so much
Yeah.
good like experiences with Halo multiplayer in the first month. So
Yep.
many good
It's one
experiences.
of the best games to like, it's one of the
Yeah.
best feeling games.
Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was playing it. It was a great idea to
Yep.
have it go free to play.
People were saying this was the return to Halo, in which this
Totally.
is like the Halo, like it's better than all the other,
Yeah.
be the definitive Halo multiplayer experience.
Yeah.
But if they can't support it, it cannot be that.
Yeah. I think it's worth the investment to put extra support here. I don't see why it's how
Yep.
it can't be worth the investment.
Yep.
Because I don't know. There's a lot. I don't know. I mean, I have a lot of questions, I guess. Like, how does Game Pass sales factor into this? Like, how do, like, things where, like, how is money allocated towards this? If, like, you have Game Pass, everything's free to play for, Halo and Halo multiplayer. Halo multiplayer is free to play. How many people are buying Battle Pass? You didn't
I'm
have,
sure they get more of their money directly. So I bet they get subsidized directly from Xbox as opposed to like game
right.
sales.
Yeah, I'm sure too. But, like, without launching, they did launch with the Battle Pass, but, like, without launching with a lot of extra features to keep people in, like, there was no way the second Battle Pass is going to do as good as the first one if you have that huge gap in between. Like, I don't know.
Right.
Beats me. Beats me. I have nothing else to say about this except I'm sad.
I don't either.
And to have something even more sad is that Spellbreak is shutting down for good. God damn it.
The only person that cares about this is Vincent.
This is a great. Did you ever play Spellbreak? Did you play with me?
I played it like twice and it really didn't do it for me.
It did it for me. It's a great game. Spellbreak is gone and Proletariat is joining Blizzard. Proletariat's the studio. This is from Proletariat's Twitter. After more than 4 years of elemental magic and spell combinations, we've made the decision to end development on Spellbreak. The servers will be shut down as of early 2023. Thank you all to the millions of players who have joined us in HoloLens since 2018. It's been an amazing journey. This is from VentureBeat, from my main man, Dean Takashi. Great guy. Under the deal, Boston-based Proletariat will become part of Blizzard, and its team of 100 people will begin working on World of Warcraft F, including the Dragonflight expansion coming later this year. Spellbreak, a battle royale game where wizards and witches cast spells at each other, will be sunset. The move is the biggest acquisition that Blizzard has made. Isn't that kind of crazy? Like 100 people? That's
Yes.
Because, I mean, Blizzard got acquired, but this is like Blizzard's biggest acquisition on underneath.
Yes.
At least for the past decade, to expand its studios. In this case, the mission is to beef up the staffing for World of Warcraft so it can hit quality and timing goals for expansions. And also, I would assume this, James, tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming World of Warcraft will be coming to Game Pass. Like when the Activision goes through, you probably won't have to pay for expansions. They'll probably get a huge player increase and just pay for that Game Pass, and that's going to get you into World of Warcraft. Maybe you have to buy expansions after that because that's how World of Warcraft keeps making money. I don't know.
Well, no, because I'm thinking of the Destiny 2 models in which if you're a Game Pass subscriber, you get all the DLC for free.
Right. Except it's off Game Pass now that isn't it off Game Pass? Or maybe on console Game Pass, it's not on PC Game Pass anymore.
Oh, I see. So I guess I'm also a little like, how would that work? Would it be just for PC Game Pass and not for console Game Pass?
I don't know. I don't know how the Blizzard Activision merger is going to go, but I imagine like bringing on a team of 100 is going to be a lot more people than just developers for an expansion. Like that's a huge amount of people. They could make an own expansion or something like that with that much power. But we'll see. Terms of the transaction were not disclosed. Quote, we're putting the players at the forefront of everything we do, and we are working hard to both meet and exceed their expectations, said Mike Ybarra, president of Blizzard Entertainment. He said a critical part of taking care of players is taking care of our teams, making sure we have those resources to produce experiences our communities will love while giving our teams space to explore even more creative opportunities within their projects. Proletariat is a perfect fit for supporting Blizzard's mission and bringing high-quality content to our players more often. So I really hope the Proletariat team is happy over there at Blizzard. Seems like a completely different type of game they're working on. Yeah. RIP Spellbreak, and there's a lot of people that this is interesting, James. There's a whole section of like content creators that devoted their content to Spellbreak, and then when Spellbreak died, their entire content like fell apart forever. Like they lost everything because they were only based in one game. And I'm sure that happens with
Yeah.
Halo content creators too right now. It's happened like with so many different games where all your
You're
entire
thinking about Battlefield content creators.
oh my god, Jack Frags, his views
Mhm.
boom after Battlefield. So
Yeah.
he started replaying old games and his views went back up. Crazy.
Yep.
But like
Yep.
if you base your entire content journey on a single game and that game does not perform well, it's so sad because then you're scatterbrained like, oh, what else can I do to try to save this? What are these other people interested in? But I know a lot of people that were like really displaced by Spellbreak, so sad stuff.
Unless they really stick to it and they fight for that game and they're like, you know what, like
Some did, dude.
and they say, you know what, this is like take like a take like a I bet there are a lot of Starfield content creators out there right now.
Oh
They
yeah,
say like, oh, like Starfield, like this is what everything we're
championing.
looking for. We're breaking down every single interview, all these things, and then Starfield comes out, boom, gets 6s, gets 7s, and they say, well, that was Starfield.
Yep.
Here's my laundry list of things that I would do to improve Starfield. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, and that's their last video. That's it, gone and forever.
I don't know if it would be.
No, but yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So sad Spellbreak. I'm gonna get some RIP missions in before the server shut down in 2023. It'll be an epic night of spellbreaking on the Epic Game Store.
I just never thought it was that good, Vincent.
It's pretty good. I thought it was great.
What did you like about it?
It's just fresh. It was like fresh battle royale. It just felt good to play. Like the
Battle Royale ever fresh?
yeah, it felt fresh. I mean, no, it came out in a time where battle royale saturated already. Warzone's already out. Fortnite's already killing it. Apex is already out. You know, it's just different. I liked it.
I don't know if it's that different.
Different to me. Felt different to play.
Okay.
It was cool to squad up. Okay, James, is the audio working?
It is working.
You call the shots on
We're
this.
chilling.
You start,
All right.
and then we'll just split it.
I'm
So
gonna
like
give you a little countdown.
and then you start. You do the first two. I'll do the next 3 bullet points.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. Hideo Kojima says he worked on a concept similar. I'm gonna redo that.
I love
Because
how audio
you know what I
listeners
did?
get the whole behind the scenes when we record clips.
They do get the whole. Because here's what I did.
Yeah.
For some reason I pressed start recording and then I gave a countdown. I was like, I can't port
No.
this straight to.
Because then you have
Okay.
to, on YouTube, you have to cut it, like trim it on YouTube,
Yeah.
and then it takes the entire day to process that 3-second cut or something, and then
Right.
it's an SD for the next 2 days. I'm like, what? I hate it.
Right, so we're gonna redo this.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Hideo Kojima says he worked on a concept similar to The Boys and wanted Mads Mikkelsen as the lead. This is The Boys, as in the Amazon Prime TV show directed by who, Vincent?
I don't know. Great question. I don't know.
Okay, great. But you know The Boys. You know
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Boys, superhero drama. This comes from IGN.com. Death Stranding and Metal Gear Solid creator Hideo Kojima seemingly worked on a concept akin to Amazon's The Boys before putting it on hold for being too similar. Now that he's put that out there, leads on the TV show say they want the legendary developer to work on a tie-in game. Kojima said he was warming up the project for a long time, with Hannibal's Mads Mikkelsen's picked out as the lead in his mind, and was about to start it just as The Boys' first season was released. Sharing the concept on Twitter, Kojima said he stopped watching The Boys after episode 3 of the first season.
So, quote, he says, I thought I'd watch the rest of the show, he said. Actually, I watched a few episodes that were delivered at the time when I was about to start a project that I'd been warming up to for a long time, and put it on hold because the concept was similar. Different settings and tricks. I don't know why that's like in
I don't know what
parentheses.
tricks means,
What
but
is that? Yeah. Kojima said his concept would have included a buddy male-female thing with a special detective squad facing off against legendary heroes behind the scenes, and I was thinking of Mads as the lead. Keep in mind, this is all translated, so like it could all be,
Yeah.
you know, maybe a little different English. But the Boys showrunner Eric Kripke responded to Kojima's tweets, declaring he was a huge fan and wanted to collaborate on a video game adaptation of the series. Quote, please come and make a The Boys game. We can team up and conquer, he said. Anthony Starr, who plays Homelander in the series, concurred and said that he seconds that notion.
So now that we got Eric Kripke wanting to collaborate on a video game adaptation. Do you think, okay, here's a question. Do you think Kojima would go straight for a sort of like The Boys adaptation, or do you think Kojima would want his own special? That's what I think too.
Are you
I
joking
think
me?
Kojima.
You think Kojima's ever doing a movie tie-in game? Oh, a TV tie-in
There's
game?
no way.
Kojima's like, I want to do this with it. Yeah.
Kojima's a creative mastermind.
Yeah.
And a part of that means there's a little bit of narcissism that goes with that.
Absolutely.
And that narcissism says, I don't want to be affiliated with someone else's work.
No.
I want this to be my own original thing. And he says, now that I put out that I was working on this, people will attribute my success to purely myself.
Exactly. No, there's no. It's not going to be The Boys game. It would never be. It would never be titled that. It would be Hideo Kojima presents. That's what you. And then a title. You know, that's the type of games that Kojima makes. God bless him for
and
it.
I bet your ass, even doing that, he could still get Eric Kripke and what's his face, Anthony Starr, in on it.
Totally,
absolutely. I think he would have no problem because Hideo Kojima is just that big.
He could pull those strings, and you know what? He could still star Mads Mikkelsen. You know what I mean? Like,
could still star Mads Mikkelsen.
Doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh my god, I would love to see something like this, but honestly, I just can't. Like, Kojima, whatever you want to do, just do it. He's got all the power in the world.
Do it now?
No, I don't think this. I don't think he'll do it.
I don't think he'll do it either.
It's too shelved. He's working on his horror game with Margaret Qualley.
Well, I don't know if it's too shelved. I think, well, yes, I think it's too shelved, but I think because it would be so similar, Kojima-san wants to be so original, that I don't think he even wants to put up this work now that people could look at it and go, oh, this is like The Boys. He doesn't want that at all.
The comparisons he would want are, oh my god, this TV show The Boys is kind of like this Kojima game I played.
Exactly.
That's what he wants. And he has every right. He's earned it. He's earned the right.
He does have every right. Yeah.
God, it's pretty awesome. Guys, thank you so much for watching this. If you want to watch the whole podcast, become a member here on YouTube or listen to the whole thing for free on audio platforms. We appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
I stopped recording. I didn't do the switchback thing because I really just forgot to.
No,
I get too into it, Vin. It's too many mental tabs.
No. There's so many good opportunities for it.
I was so focused on the conversation.
All right, at least we did it. At least we did it.
We can do it next week. I'll really try to.
Okay, sounds good. Final.
But I was doing it for the MTX or the MX versus ATV, and it didn't.
That's okay. Whatever.
And then I just gave up entirely.
Oh God! All right.
I'm really dropping the ball today.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Final story. Hit me.
New interview with From Software's Hidetaka Miyazaki. This comes from 4gamer.net.
This is a Japanese website, by the way.
Japanese.
Yeah, I had to. It was just I was reading a rough translation of it. I don't know how this is gonna read. I'm so sorry in advance. Try your best.
An unannounced project is in the final stage of development. This is from Software. Miyazaki intends to continue to focus on directing games and is already working on his next game. Elden Ring will receive more updates. One interesting tidbit is that Miyazaki is apparently interested in working on something that he describes as more abstract fantasy than the projects we've seen from so far. And now he has come up.
What? How can it be more abstract fantasy than some of the abstract fantasy he's doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Bloodborne is pretty abstract fantasy.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I guess not. Like, it's more Lovecraftian.
Yeah,
Lovecraftian horror, which I guess it's abstract in its own right. But I wonder if this means that Hidetaka Miyazaki wants to do his own subgenre,
probably,
of horror or fantasy that looks really different than what we've seen.
You're probably right.
And I can't really imagine that. What is that? Does that ring any bells for you, Vin? Like, does that bring anything to mind? Abstract fantasy?
No, it's hard to compare because, yeah, like you said, Lovecraftian is Lovecraftian. That is like a subgenre, you know.
Right.
Elden Ring is very
it's dark fantasy.
Yeah, totally. It is dark fantasy. I don't know. What would you say Dark Souls is?
Also dark fantasy.
So maybe he's trying to find his own thing. His own.
I think he is.
Yeah. Did he also direct Sekiro? Yeah. Okay. Interesting. And that would be,
which is more like light fantasy, in my opinion. It's like Eastern, but it's lighter fantasy because
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't know. I think maybe I don't know.
It's interesting. We'll see.
Maybe light fantasy is
I'm sure he's got some idea for it.
Yeah. Continuing. Um, more abstract fantasy projects than we've seen from so far, and now he has come up with a lot of ideas and images that don't fit their current games. Miyazaki also notes that From Software is working on improving the compensation and treatment of its employees, and they plan to increase the salaries of young to mid-career employees as well. We love to see it. He claims that the working environment has improved greatly in recent years. Also love to see it. Hopefully, this is actually true and not just Hidetaka Miyazaki sucking
Talking.
his own titties.
Sure. Absolutely. Because there was a lot that came out before Elden Ring that was like, From Software's not a good place to work. Remember that? It was a whole
Really?
thing. Yeah, yeah. Remember, I sent you some stuff from
I
like,
don't remember that.
remember Tamor and Andrea Renee were like going at it and
Hmm.
stuff because Tamor was like, oh, this game's so good. And then Andrea was like, how can it be good when the developers aren't
I remember
treated
that.
right? And then a bunch of people were chiming in like, all it was like a game
Mhm.
journalist battle thread. It was crazy. And then it all got deleted. Everybody
Mhm.
said sorry at the end, but it was like, it was intense that day.
I remember that.
Moving on to a grain of salt, which is our rumor section. There's not really any rumors, but
Wait, Vincent.
yeah, what?
What do you think is the unannounced project in the final stages of development?
I think it's a new IP. I don't think it's like a Dark Souls
I think it's
4.
Armored Core.
No.
I think it's Armored
More
Core.
abstract fantasy?
It's in development. We know that an arm. No. I don't. I think these are two separate projects.
Yeah. Oh.
He's interested in working on something that describes as more abstract fantasy. That means he hasn't that means it's in the future. He
Yeah, but
hasn't
the one they're working
started.
on right now is Armored Core.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Unannounced project in the final stages of development. I think that's Armored Core.
I don't know how Armored Core is going to play. I have no idea. It's how
I want it to be super fast.
From Software doesn't make fast games. Or I guess Sekiro is fast. I haven't tried it though.
Sekira's fast as fuck.
Because Elden Ring's so slow. In terms
I
of
think
like
of Elden Ring is fast because I come from Dark Souls.
right. I don't know. My thought is that it's slow, but I don't know. Maybe it's not. Be interesting. But okay.
Yeah, let's move on.
Moving on. Grain of salt, rumors. This is just a PS. Just stop leaking God of War stuff that isn't real. Every day it seems like, oh, here's a new release date. Here's a new thing. It's just annoying. It's just annoying. Nobody knows. Okay. Just like nobody knows. It's fine.
Just let him go on dates with his wife.
But apparently, Jason Schreier said the release date was supposed to be revealed on the 30th, which is today. But the studio decided not to, even though it's confirmed that the game is not delayed. They just haven't done the release date yet.
So here's what we're saying is be on the lookout tonight for a surprise shadow release of God of War.
It's coming out tonight. Load your PlayStations. Get 100 gigabytes free on that bad boy because you're going to be downloading it tonight.
Coming out tonight, baby.
Can you imagine?
No, I actually don't know what to do with this information.
There isn't. You just wait for a release date. That's it. It's going to be a new trailer with a release date. That's what it'll be. And it'll be a gameplay trailer or something.
But it's got to happen soon because people are finding out about this.
I know, but when's this game coming out, James?
What's going on?
When's it coming out?
Holiday.
When's holiday? They gave
November.
They gave Last of Us Part 1 September. So maybe November. I can't wait to get the steelbook for this. God, can't wait.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be so good. James, we're at 1 hour and 5 right now. It's time to jump into RFS.
And we're going to cruise through this. It's going to be 1 hour 6.
Okay. Oh,
this is RFS, random fun stuff. Swords That Is Story. Coming to PS Plus Essential in July. Crash Bandicoot 4, Man of Medan for PS4, and Arcade-Ageddon.
Arcade-Ageddon looks pretty fun, actually. I'm going to download it.
I didn't see anything on it.
Looks pretty cool. And then Crash.
Is that it?
Can't wait. That's literally all I got because I was putting some of the Nintendo stuff in there, and then I moved the Nintendo stuff to its own story because there was a lot of it. But that is all I've got for RFS, unless there's anything you want to add from my Nibelian.
You can sign up to play test the next Skate game.
I will be signing up today. Are you kidding me? Are you joking?
Also, the Overwatch 2 beta is live.
Yep, if you want to pay some money for it.
If you can't get in anymore unless you pay for the Watch Point edition or whatever it's called.
Watch Point edition also comes with the campaign. So by buying that, you get the campaign with it, which is kind of nice. But still,
it's like $40.
Yeah, it is $40, and it comes with skins and loot boxes too, or loot packs or
Yeah.
whatever. So
Um,
interesting.
Sea of Stars will release in 2023. It's a classic turn-based RPG.
Did you see the
Classics
rumor that
inspired.
Skull of Bones is coming out this year?
I did.
It's not coming out. There's no way.
There's no fucking way. We haven't seen enough on it.
Nope. Okay, that's all I got.
That's all I got.
We're wrapping it,
Ladies and
baby.
gentlemen, thank you so much for watching episode 119 of Checkpoint.
Yep.
Vincent, do you have anything for the viewers?
That's all I got. That's all I got. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed to youtube.com/strictlycasual, please go over and do that. And if you haven't given a review on audio platforms, please do that. We appreciate that. Love y'all, and we'll see you on the next one.
Love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Peace out.